In this video, I want to explain the concept of regional interdependence in the body and explain why finding the source of your issue can be a fundamental part of finding a long-term solution to your back pain. Hello and welcome to the Back Pain Guide. I'm Duncan, a former sufferer of debilitating back pain, now turned physiotherapist who focuses on the care and treatment of other people, perhaps like yourself, who also suffer from back pain. The advice I give is a mixture of my personal experience and professional advice, and I focus on trying to give advice I wish I had known when I was suffering from back pain. To understand the concept of regional interdependence, it can be valuable to think of the human body as a complex web with each part intricately connected to the others. Regional interdependence is the theory that imbalance or dysfunction in one part of the body can cause pain and other problems in seemingly unrelated regions. The idea is akin to pulling on one thread of a spider's web and seeing the effect and reverberations throughout the entire structure. In relation to back pain, this idea challenges the conventional view of isolated pain management, where back pain is often treated as an isolated issue specific to the painful area without considering its broader context. Instead, regional interdependence encourages us to view the body as an integrated system, where issues or dysfunction or problems in one region can manifest as pain in other regions. To highlight this, I want to illustrate an issue we see all the time in clinic, and that is where we have either neck, cervical, or lumbar, lower back pain that is being caused by dysfunction or restriction or immobility in the T-spine, the thoracic spine. So the vertebral column, or the spine, is divided into 24 segments for good reason. And this means that each segment has a small part to play in bearing the load that goes through the spine or facilitating movement that the spine has to produce. So if the spine is working well and as it should, the load and the movement that the spine has to facilitate is divided across the entirety of the structure. So if I develop a dysfunction or a restriction in, let's say, 4 or 5 segments of the thoracic spine, it means these sections are no longer doing their job properly, which means other parts of the spine have to bear the brunt of that dysfunction. An analogy would be to use the example of a football team. So a healthy spine would be all positions in the team playing at their best and working together as a cohesive team. If I were to then take the healthy, fit and trained midfielders and wrap them up, mummify them so they can no longer move, the team is still there, but the defenders and goalkeeper are going to bear the brunt of that change, likely making them overly tired and worn down over time. The same idea applies to the spine. So if a few sections of that thoracic vertebrae, the mid-back, become stiff and immobile, they become like the mummified midfielders. They're no longer doing their job properly, no longer working properly, and that means that the load or effort will likely either go up the spine to the cervical spine, the neck, or down the spine to the lower back, or sometimes both. These areas will then have to work harder than they should, getting tired and worn down over time, which can lead to pain and discomfort. So when someone comes into clinic with this issue, of course we will treat the neck or the lower back, whichever area is hurting. But if we don't address that thoracic spine dysfunction, the issue is far more likely to come back in some amount of time. Sometimes it can be helpful to think of this concept in terms of victims and villains. The victim is the area experiencing the pain or discomfort. So in the above example, the cervical spine, the neck, or the lower back, the lumbar spine. The villain is the area that isn't working properly, thereby placing excess load into another area that then experiences pain. In the above example, the thoracic spine. To yield long-term results, it is essential not just to locate and treat the victim, the painful area, but to identify the villain, the source of the issue, and to fix that to prevent further recurrences of pain and discomfort. I hope you found that information valuable. Remember, you have the power to take control and move towards a pain-free life. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the Back Pain Guide for future videos and more valuable content. If you have any suggestions for future videos or questions you'd like to ask, please leave them in the comments below. I'm here to guide and support you on your journey to recovery. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.